So this is my final interaction vlog with my partner. I know there's still one after this, but about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, I got done hanging out with Marie for the last time. We had some issues with finding what activity we should do because I addressed it earlier, but she said that typically German teens on the weekend for fun just go out and party and drink, which we're not really allowed to report on underage drinking in America in our academic papers, so we obviously couldn't do that. Um, she said she liked board games, and then board games sort of transformed into card games. So we ended up playing card games at a coffee shop because she didn't want to be at her host family's house, so we just went to the coffee shop because it's a public place. Um, it was really interesting because we played games that she didn't know the card games names in America, like in English, but she knew them in German. So the first game we played in German is called Momo, which was it was just like Uno, but with a standard deck of cards. And she said it's like a really old children's game, and so I feel like if I bothered to research, it's probably where Uno originated and what it evolved from. So I thought that was really, really cool. Um, After that, I decided to sort of make it about me again, and I was like, well, have you tried like this card game? So we played Speed, which is a two-player card game where you get rid of your hand as fast as you can for the most part. And she said she'd never played that, and there's no German equivalent, so it was fun, but we didn't really get much out of that. Then we played Old Maid and War, which she had played in Germany. She just didn't know what the names of them were, and she still doesn't know what the names of them are because she admitted like halfway through, hey, I haven't played cards since I was 6 years old. So that was pretty interesting. Um, I was a little disappointed because she said that if we were to play board games, that she used to play Settlers of Catan with her dad, and I was like, "Are you serious? Like, that's in my dorm room. I should have brought it." And I was really upset because I love Settlers of Catan. I thought it was really cool that, like, I didn't know it was international, I guess, but I guess a successful game like that should be pretty international. Overall, I think that the experience went really well. Yeah, like, again, we didn't learn much about each other because we had already been friends. She told me about a movie she just went to see with her friends, that 10 Cloverfield Lane, but we honestly just more talked about as friends, which is that the goal with this project? I have no idea. Just be friends with someone in another culture. It wasn't that hard. They're still a person. But we did talk about like foreign domestic relationships when those tend to mingle. Because I asked her, I had some foreign friends before that they'd had to leave. They left their boyfriend back in whatever their home country was and came to America. And I asked her if like that was an issue for her, which was a really awkward like trying to make it seem like I actually cared and that I wasn't trying to hit on her and being like, hey, you got a boy in the pic? And so it was really weird. But she was like, no, I didn't have that issue. And she said that she didn't really understand why people would go on exchange programs if they're in a serious relationship for like a year. Because like, would you really jeopardize your relationship just for an experience? But it's sort of saying, what do we value? Are we looking for marriage in this relationship, or is it for fun? Is my life experience more important than my love? Sort of that intimacy versus isolation thing, mixing in that Erikson stages of psychosocial development. And so, yeah, we had some talks about that, and we talked about how one of my friends fell in love with a foreign exchange student, and then she went back to Germany, and they stayed together for like 6 months, and he debated like going to college in Germany and all this crap. And he was like, eventually she just broke it off. She was like, this isn't working. You're staying with me so that I might be able to see you in the summer for 3 weeks, and then we sit for another year and wait to see each other. She's like, it's not working. Bye. So that ended badly, and so I guess we sort of agreed on those policies and stuff. We also talked about nuclear weaponry. I don't know how that really came up, but it did. And it was really interesting to hear her views on it. and like I just pointed out like the irony of the U.S. made Germany restrict their like war spending and their army and all this stuff, yet the U.S. has the biggest standing army and defense spending in the world. So it's sort of hypocritical. And then we talked about nuclear weaponry, domestic foreign relationships, and YouTube, and how like she watches like YouTube back in Germany, and I watch YouTube, and like YouTube's a global community, and it's just cool how like she watches American YouTubers, but I would never watch a German YouTuber because I just wouldn't. I don't understand the language. And it's sort of cool to see like YouTube is as international as you think, and like it does cross that many lines and borders of language and stuff. And so it's really cool that we could relate on that subject because the internet brings the world together. So to close, I can show you the 3 pics that we took. And they sort of all look the same, but I promise they were different and taken at different times. So the first one is me. Oh, the little thingy's on my face. Just a second. First one is me and Marie holding the cards. These are all staged though, so don't think that these are for real. And then this one, she said, should I try and look natural in it? So she tried and looked natural, like she was counting the cards. And then the last one, I stood up so you knew that we were taking them at different times. So it didn't look all the same. And she's putting the cards away because we were getting ready to leave. So, yeah. This video is like 3 minutes longer than it needs to be, but you can get over it. And so, it was really fun. I guess I'm a little sad that it's over now, because even though it was mandatory hangouts, it was really fun to get to know her. But that's the nature of the beast as well, because she's a foreign exchange student, so she's by au revoir to Germany in like 2 or 3 months. So, yeah, interesting experience. Now we have to face heartbreak when we know that these people are going back. Thanks, me.